Okay, now that you've seen a module and have an idea about how it might work, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about how you could set up your own module. To be clear, again, a module is simply a group of quizzes, discussions, assignments, and pages, as you saw in my module, that are put together to establish a workflow for a student. If you would like to create your own module, you're going to have to click on the modules within Canvas. This is the module we actually just went through, the personality trait theory module. I'm going to go to the top of the screen and add a module. And I'm going to call this module a sample module. And add it. New modules are added to the bottom of your screen. If you'd like to move them up, because you will have to keep going back and forth to it, I would suggest you hover over those 6 or 8 dots and drag it. I'm just holding down my left mouse key and drag it to the top of my list. Okay, so here's my sample module. There's nothing in there right now. It is not published. There is no green check mark. And if I want to add to my module, which of course I will, because the module is simply a core for my workflow, I will do that by using the plus button. I will start off my module with a page. When I click the plus button, I have an opportunity to pick any of the components of a module that Canvas permits: an assignment, a quiz, a page, a file, a discussion, etc. I'm going to start with a page. And these are pages that are being displayed here that I've already created that are in Canvas for me. You will not have any unless you've done this before. You will have new page, and you will give the new page a name. The indentation does not matter. It matters if you would like to create an organizational structure for your kids to see a hierarchy, but it will not establish the workflow for them. Okay, once you're done naming the page, you will add the page, and it will show up here on your screen. Now the page, of course, is blank. You've added nothing to it. So let me click on the page and open it up. Okay, here's my sample page. There's nothing here. If I would like to add something to it, I need to click on Edit. Notice here that there are a number of editing tools, similar to what you might see in Google Doc or Microsoft Word. I can start by typing up information. I can change the font by highlighting it, bolding it, underlining it, changing the font size, and changing the text color or the font color. Okay. If you would like to create tables, there is a very simple and basic table tool. So I could actually create a 2x2 table with headers and items. You may also, on a page, if you are delivering information to a student, students, you may want to, within the page, add a YouTube video or any video, but let's just say there happens to be one on YouTube that you would like. I click on, as you can see, there's lots of different ways to add information. I'm just going to click on the YouTube. I'm going to search for a video to add. And it does search through all of YouTube. And if I choose to pick a particular one, I would choose then to potentially embed the video. And I'm going to embed it as a small video, but you can choose to make it a nice large one, but I'm going to make a small one here. Now when I embed it, let's remember that embedding means that when a student goes to play the video, they are not leaving Canvas to play it. It is sitting right here in Canvas. Okay. I may want to add text to the video, reminding students what I would like them to do with the video. Reminder, take notes. I may then want to add some additional text, and that text might come from a Google Doc that I already have, but this is just a page to present material. So let's just go ahead and save this page. Now, many of you have already put a lot of time into creating pages or creating, I guess, Google presentations or PowerPoint presentations. So let's go back to our module where I now have that sample page, and let's add a new page to the module. And in this case, I would like to add a page. I'm just adding a page again, calling it sample 2. It's a new page. In this page, I'd like to actually incorporate, when I click on it, an existing Google presentation. Again, I click on it, there's nothing there, I need to click Edit. And I now like to embed an actual Google presentation that I've already created. Now, it's not very apparent here which icon you need to click, but it is this one, More External Tools. It looks like a V. And the option you want is Google Apps. But take a look at what else you have here. There's plenty of other things you can link to, images, Discovery Education. But let me go ahead and click on Google Apps. Now, Google Apps is basically bringing me to, I'm going to have to plug my computer in here, is bringing me to my Google Drive. And in my Google Drive, I can select anything I wish. I'm going to go ahead and select the folder. And I'm going to select a trait theory, a particular Google Slides that I've created already. And I'm choosing to embed this particular file. Remember, when I embed it, my students will be able to view this Google slide through Canvas. Okay. This one has 2 slides on it. Let me go ahead and save it so we can get a better view. Going ahead and saving it now. I'm going back to modules. My students will start off on my first page. When they are done taking their notes, taking a look at that video, they will move to the next page. And this is the page we just created. This page has an embedded Google slide document. And we can play that document. We can actually play it. And as you notice, you, or I in this case, created these Google Slides, and I already had an embedded link to a video, which I can play directly.
The words personality and trait go hand in hand. Whenever you take online quizzes about your personality,
Canvas,
you probably get some traits as your answer.
Okay. So if you've put some time into creating Google Slides and you'd like to incorporate them into your workflow through modules, this is the perfect way to do it. So we've added 2 pages. One just had a embedded YouTube video. The second page we added, as you can see here, had an existing Google slide. But now let's go back to our module, and let's say we'd like to do a simple check for understanding. So I'm going to add now a quiz. It is a new quiz. And you don't have to worry about what group to put it under. These are assignment groups. I happen to have set mine up so that I can do all my grading here in Canvas, but you can create it as an ungraded quiz, and you'll still get to see what the students' grades are. And we'll add the item. So the quiz now shows up, and you know it's a quiz with the rocket next to it. And when I click on it, I'll have to edit it. I can provide instructions, tell them good luck. And there's a lot of options to play with here. I'm not going to go through too many of them, but you can make it so that it's a little harder for them to work with other students by shuffling the answers, providing a time limit, which can be selectively determined depending upon their accommodations. Allow them multiple attempts and let them see their right answers, let them see their incorrect answers, but also you could let them see what the correct answers are at the end. You can require the quiz to be delivered 1 question at a time and lock their answers so that they Since it's being done randomly, students from different classes can't help each other. And you can require a access code or a password. Okay? Now, once you're done with all the settings for the actual quiz, you want to now move to the questions for the quiz. And when I click on the questions tab, I would click on new question, and I could add one, who is the father of psychodynamic theory? Notice this is a multiple choice question, but there are multiple options. There are true-false questions, etc. And these are somewhat self-explanatory. You have to look through them. Canvas does a good job about walking you through different quiz question types. You'll be asked to give the correct answer, and then always the rest of these will be the distractors. And when you are done creating a test question, you update it, and if so desired, add new questions. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. I'm not going to add that question. And then save your quiz. So now our module, if I go back to it, has 2 pages and a quiz. Well, let's say once I've done the quiz and I've assessed the students and I feel like they have a good understanding, I may create a few more pages, and now I'm ready to give them an assignment. So I'm in my module here, and I'm going to hit the plus key, and I'm going to add a new assignment. Now the assignment that you add, once I click on it and edit it, you can certainly cut and paste text from any assignment you have on your Google Drive or in Microsoft Word, but you can link directly to that assignment. So for example, I have an assignment that is about the kids filling out a chart for Freud on defense mechanisms. They do not have to recreate the chart. I already have that document on my Google Drive. So I might give them some instructions about what I expect them to do. Tell them how many points it might be worth, and if I'm using an assignment group, I can, or you can just simply do an ungraded assignment. And this is where it becomes important here. If you are going to link to a Google document with an assignment in it, you want to choose an external tool submission type. Now let me go back and explain what some of these others are. If I were to have pasted in the assignment, so I had taken some text and pasted my assignment in here, I'll want to get the submissions online. So I would choose online, and I would say they can either type in their answers through text entry. Maybe you want them to upload a file because they can compose their response offline and restrict their file type. But in this case, I want to try to use an external tool, and the external tool I'm using is my Google Drive. So I click on external tool, I hit find, and it immediately comes up with all of the approved applications, or at least MCPS approved applications for Canvas. And I'm going to find the Google Docs Cloud assignment and click on it, and immediately it will take me to my drive, where I can go ahead and find the assignment wherever I've stored it on my drive. Submit that assignment and select it. I'm going to choose to have it loaded in a new tab so students don't lose their place in their module. I'll assign it to everyone, give them a due date, and then save it. Here's what the page will look like, and when the students go to load their assignment up, here it will come up in a page. It will already have a copy on their Google Drive. They'll save that copy, make their edits, and while you cannot see it, they will submit it. There will be a submit button up here on the upper right, and you'll be able to receive a copy of their assignment electronically. So, in summary, we went through a module I had already created. We created a sample module with 2 different types of pages, one including text and an embedded video, and one including an existing Google presentation. We created our own quiz, and we created a sample assignment. The last thing I'd like to do is to just show you how you keep this a workflow rather than just simply an amalgamation of pages. If we look at our sample module and we click on the settings, which is the three dots to the right here, and we edit our module, you can add requirements to the module and insist that your students move through the module in sequential order. It automatically selects the first page of your module and says that the students must view the item. I can add a requirement and say, well, I want them to also view the page sample 2. And I would like them to also take the sample quiz and score at least a 1 on that sample quiz. And I'm going to add a final requirement of them having submitted the assignment called sample. And I will update my module. So now when students come into this module, they will be required to go through these pages in sequential order, and there will be requirements for them to go through this workflow. And remember, the only reason we would ever use Canvas for modules is the fact that it does create a workflow for the students, and it allows you to be a little bit more flexible than you might have been able to be in your Google Classroom. So I hope that was helpful, and if there's any desire to go through some more advanced or in-depth training on creating pages, creating assignments, and creating quizzes, I'd be happy to provide that to you. Have a good day.